In this video, I'm rolling with aggressive Chris again. I put the aggressive in quotes. He used to be aggressive when he first started, and now he's very chill. But the nickname stuck nonetheless. So here we go. I'm going to be teaching him a little bit about takedowns. So basically, I'm introducing him to takedowns. And it's not going to be a complete takedown. It's just the principle of the hand fighting and the clinch before a takedown. So I'm going to show him a little bit of clinch and a little bit of underhook and what the purpose is. I'm also going to go over the snap down. So here you could see I'm showing him the importance of swimming inside and what foot to keep forward. So I like to initiate the clinch with the same foot forward as my hand, and then when I want to do the snap down, I pull away and pull down on the neck. This is a similar principle I was showing him with the underhook. You could also snap somebody down into a guillotine. You could snap them down and get their hands on the mat. But these are important details. And also, snap down is, I consider it a safe way of setting up a takedown. Because when you snap somebody down, chances are they're just going to put their hands out and fall to their knees. So here I'm showing them the importance of swimming in on the clinch. So when somebody clinches your neck, you should be able to re-pummel. Now, I got this more from Muay Thai and from friends who train Muay Thai and how they use it. I'm not saying it's not used in jiu-jitsu, but that's just the origins of it for me. See, so there I got the clinch. He swam in for a better clinch, making my clinch less relevant. And I'm also showing that the underhook is there as well. So if you can't get the clinch, look for the underhook. Once you have the underhook, you could spin to the back, things of that nature. So there it is again, the re-pummel. At my first school, the motto was stand up, clinch, and ground. So you can see the difference there in the angle of my technique. I showed him the difference and how I was structurally sound once I faced towards him. So the snap down's good for Chris. It works right into his style. You want to do it hard enough where someone respects it. If they don't respect it, they'll give it to you. But if they respect it, that sets up other things in the push-pull principle. So there I'm just pulling. But if I'm pulling and the person starts pulling away, well, then I have to switch to pushing. Or a single leg, or picking up his leg in an ankle pick. But to set that up, I want him retreating. So there I get the clinch. I'm clinching his neck incorrectly on purpose. Normally I'll keep my elbow in the middle of the chest on the clinch. So I clinch with my right hand and I bend my arm so the elbow's in the center of my partner's chest. That's going to prevent him from re-pummeling. So I'm pummeling wrong on purpose because, again, I don't want to get into a lot of details. I just want him to understand what the snap down is and the importance of grabbing someone by the neck and off-balancing them with a push-pull. So I'm showing them the snap down is the same if someone's on their knees. If they're on their knees, you could pull on their neck, snap them down, and get to the back position. So standing, knees, it's going to be similar. The principle remains the same. Also, you see Nicky Rod doing this, right? You snap down, go right to the back. And he's been doing that, I think, since he started. I think I remember watching a video where he was explaining he was, when his jiu-jitsu was rudimentary when he first began, he was utilizing this type of snap down to back take. And even very seasoned guys couldn't stop it, because can you imagine how powerful his snap down is? So now we're going to roll a little bit. I'm not making any excuses for Chris, but our first video was actually over 2 years ago, the rolling with an aggressive white belt. The link will be in the description if you didn't see it, but it's the most popular video on the channel. It has over 1 million views, and I definitely got a lot of subscribers, and it's a main reason why I have a channel. But I'd like to think he came a long way since then. And he hasn't trained a lot because he was traveling. So he hasn't been consistent. Also, last month he was boxing. He focused exclusively on boxing for a fireman police boxing event. I don't know if it was for charity. It usually is. So he's a fireman. And apparently he won his fight. So congrats to him. So as you can see, he's more casual. He's not going to go crazy if he gets put in a bad position. And he's going to kind of see where things go. And I know it's hard for white belts to understand this, but the faster you do that, you'll have another 1.5 years ahead of you, and next thing you know, things will start clicking. You realize you don't have to move that fast, and you just have to use the proper technique at the right time. So there, I pushed his leg out of the way, and I went to knee on belly. And we're resetting because we're too close to those other lads. So here, as you can see, I slid my knee across from knee on belly to mount. He did a hip bump, but you have to hip bump, make an A-frame on my waist, turn, and land sideways. So here I'm just holding his head up so he can't hip bump as effectively. But now I switched away from that. I'm looking to gain control of an arm. See, he hip bumped and I went right to knee on belly, so it sent me flying forward, but I never lost the position. Then I scissored my legs and went from one side to the other because I felt him going that way. I don't want to get in his way. And I think this roll is a great example of jiu-jitsu versus power. Not responding with power. I could respond with power. I could be totally all-encompassing, smothering, but instead I'm just moving when I have to. If I feel a big push, I go with it. So here I'm going to feed the collar. Oh, I'm attempting to step over armbar. He defended. I went back to mount. See, now he's doing certain aspects correctly. So he did the A-frame. I spun around to the far side armbar. He spun back. Now he's in a guillotine. Not officially, but he's in a front head snap down as we were just discussing. So now I'm going to either look for a collar choke or to spin to his back. See, he's trying to get up there. I want to tip him over. So I'm looking for the lapel on the other side because it's becoming a turtle position here now. And there it is. I was able to tip him over. I have his collar. I could have had a canto choke there or looked for one. And there I had the Kimura, but he dead-armed out of it, and now he's flat on his back, which is fine with me because, as you could see, I'm transferring right to the paper cutter choke. But I don't want to lose position. So I just have one knee on his shoulder, one on his stomach, and I went back to mount. So basically, I'm taking whatever he gives me. But I'll tell you this, if you notice, if you watch our first roll, he's doing a much better job of avoiding submissions. Again, I'm not trying to really finish him. I actually like being transitional. But I would still say his defense is better, obviously, than it was in the early days. And even though he's relatively, untrained, he doesn't have a lot of training experience, he'd still be more than a handful for any regular person who isn't training. So here I have the collar around his throat, again, not exploding, not trying to finish. I mean, I'm trying to finish, but I'm not trying to use a ton of energy. So here I was trying to switch that collar choke into the arm bar, because when he brings his arm up, he's bringing it up to defend. So you always want to think collar, choke, arm bar whenever you can. It gives him a dilemma. See here, he's so strong I can't pull his arm out. When that happens, ideally, it's good to switch to the triangle, which I didn't do right there, or the omoplata. Just because I didn't do it doesn't mean it's not viable. I didn't do it because I'm playing in a relaxed manner. So there I was able to get the butterfly sweep on him. As you could see, I used the back of his collar and the fact that his arm was trapped in front of me. There I think I got the Americana, or I got a wrist lock. It was quick. But either way, thank you for watching. Follow me on Instagram, Jits over50, or Facebook. If you want to help support the channel, there's an X-Martial link in the description. Anything you buy on there, it's all no-gi stuff, including my rash guards and shorts. It's 15% off if you use code Jits over50, or you could just buy me a coffee. The links will be in the description, as well as the links of my prior rolls with Chris. So here I'm showing him that he can't just keep letting me grab his collar like that. So if I grab his collar this way, it's still control, but it's not a choke. If I grab it over the arm, it could be a finish. And that's a rear naked choke defense, like an old school rear naked choke defense. But thank you for watching. Please like, share. That was Nick Salmon. And subscribe. See you in the next episode.